Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to speak a powerful truth. You can change your life, but it begins with changing the way you think. Too many people are trapped in cycles of poverty, not because of their circumstances, but because of the mindset they adopt. Poverty is not just a financial condition, it's a mental condition. If you want to stop living like the poor, you must stop doing what poor people do. First, understand that mindset is everything. The poor think in terms of lack, limitation, and scarcity. They focus on what they don't have. And because of that, they continue to live without abundance. The wealthy, on the other hand, think in terms of possibilities, opportunities, and solutions. They see potential in every situation. If you want to change your life, you must first change your thinking. You must believe that there is always a way, and that you are capable of finding it. Stop focusing on what you lack and start focusing on what you can create. The poor often define themselves by what they don't have: the money, the opportunity, the connections. But what they fail to see is that every great success began with nothing but a thought. When you focus on lack, you limit your ability to see what's available to you. Shift your focus to creation, to solutions, and to growth. Wealth comes to those who understand that every problem has a solution if you are willing to find it. You must develop a vision for your life. Too many people live day by day, responding to life's pressures without a clear sense of purpose or direction. This is the way of the poor. They drift. The wealthy, however, are driven by a vision and image of where they are going. If you want to change your life, you must see where you are going. You must define your future with clarity and precision, and then take consistent steps toward that vision, no matter how small. Every success story begins with a vision. Take responsibility for where you are right now. The poor tend to blame others, their family, their background, their environment, or even the system. But blaming others will never elevate you. The first step toward change is taking responsibility for your own life. You are where you are because of the choices you've made. And if you want to move forward, you must own your decisions. The moment you stop blaming others and take full responsibility for your life is the moment your power to change begins. Invest in yourself. People who are poor neglect their personal growth. They are content with what they know, with what they have. But the wealthy know that growth is a continuous journey. They are constantly learning, improving, and evolving. To break free from poverty, you must commit to investing in your own development. Whether through books, courses, or experiences, you must seek knowledge, sharpen your skills, and grow into the person you were meant to be. Your habits will determine your future. We are creatures of habit, and the habits of the poor are the very things that keep them in cycles of mediocrity, procrastination, poor spending habits, unhealthy lifestyles, and negative thinking. If you continue to do what poor people do, you will continue to get the same results. But if you change your habits, if you start practicing discipline, consistency, and strategic thinking, you will start to see different results. It's the small daily habits that shape the destiny of the successful. You are the product of your environment. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. The poor often stay in environments that reinforce their limitations. They live in communities that don't challenge them to grow. But if you want to change your life, you must change your environment. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who push you to be better. Change your environment and you will change your perspective. Understand that purpose is the key to true wealth. The poor live without purpose, drifting from day to day, reacting to the circumstances around them. They focus on survival. But the wealthy live with a sense of mission. They know their purpose, and their purpose drives them forward. Purpose gives you direction, and it fuels your passion. When you know your purpose, you have the power to shape your life, and wealth follows. If you want to stop doing what poor people do, you must change yourself. You must change your mindset, focus on possibilities, take responsibility for your life, invest in your growth, adopt powerful habits, change your environment, and live with purpose. When you do these things, you won't just change your financial situation, you will transform your entire life. And once you begin to change, the world around you will change as well. The power to change is in your hands. The question is, will you choose to change yourself? The journey starts now. The way you think shapes your life in profound ways. The concept of mindset is not just a psychological theory, it is the foundation of all your actions, decisions, and outcomes. If you think like the poor, you will live like the poor. If you think like someone who is destined for greatness, you will begin to move in that direction. Therefore, transforming your life requires a fundamental shift in how you perceive yourself, your possibilities, and the world around you. Many people live with a mindset that operates out of fear, scarcity, and limitation. They focus on what they do not have, what they cannot achieve, and what is out of their reach. This way of thinking keeps them trapped in cycles of mediocrity and lack. The poor are often defined by what they lack, whether it's financial resources, opportunities, connections, or education. They see the world through a lens of limitation, constantly confronted with obstacles they believe they cannot overcome. This mindset is not a natural state, nor is it a reflection of reality. It is a result of habitual thinking that has been reinforced over time. On the other hand, those who rise above poverty, who create wealth and success in their lives, do not look at the world in terms of lack. They see opportunities where others see problems. They perceive every challenge as an invitation to learn, grow, and find new solutions. They are not discouraged by setbacks or difficulties. Instead, they embrace them as stepping stones on the path to success. The wealthy understand that life is full of opportunities, and it is only the limitation of the mind that prevents one from seeing them. The more you focus on abundance, the abundance of knowledge, potential resources, and connections, the more you will begin to attract those very things into your life. It all starts with a shift in perspective. The way you think about yourself, your circumstances, and your potential will determine your path forward. If you believe that you are limited by your current situation, then your actions will reflect that belief. You will make decisions based on fear and insecurity, and these decisions will only perpetuate your current circumstances. However, if you begin to believe that your future is not defined by your past, that you have the ability to shape your destiny through your choices and actions, then your life will begin to transform. This shift is not an easy one, especially for those who have been conditioned to think negatively about their circumstances. For many people, poverty is not just a financial state, it becomes a way of life. It is how they define themselves. It's in their thoughts, their behaviors, their language, and even their interactions with others. They believe that because they were born into certain circumstances, they are somehow bound by them. But nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is that your environment does not define you. Your circumstances do not determine your future. Your thoughts do. Your thoughts are powerful, and they have the ability to shape the world around you. This is why it is so crucial to shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. The moment you decide to believe that there is always enough time, enough money, enough opportunity, you will begin to see the world differently. You will start to notice the opportunities that have always been there but were previously invisible to you because of your limited thinking. Changing your mindset requires conscious effort and discipline. It's easy to fall into patterns of thinking that reinforce a mindset of scarcity and limitation. Society, the media, and even our upbringing can instill beliefs in us that keep us locked into a way of thinking that hinders our growth. But this is where personal responsibility comes in. You are responsible for your own thoughts, and therefore you are responsible for your own success. To begin this process, you must first identify the negative beliefs that are holding you back. These might be beliefs like I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, or I don't have what it takes. These beliefs are the foundation of a poor mindset. Once you become aware of them, you can begin to challenge them. You can replace them with beliefs that empower you. Instead of I'm not good enough, tell yourself I am capable of achieving greatness. Instead of I'll never make it, say I am on the path to success and I will continue to learn and grow. Instead of I don't have what it takes, believe I am resourceful and I will find the tools and strategies to succeed. This process of changing your mindset requires consistent effort. You must surround yourself with positive influences, read books that inspire you, and engage in activities that expand your thinking. The more you expose yourself to new ideas and new perspectives, the more you will begin to see the world as a place of abundance rather than scarcity. Additionally, it is important to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. The poor often focus on what they lack, which only reinforces their sense of scarcity. But when you focus on what you have, when you take time each day to acknowledge the blessings in your life, you shift your energy and mindset toward abundance. Gratitude has the power to transform your perception of the world. It opens your eyes to the many opportunities and resources available to you. Another key element of shifting your mindset is embracing the idea of personal growth. The wealthy are constantly evolving. They understand that learning is a lifelong journey. They invest in themselves, whether through education, mentorship, or personal development. They are committed to improving their skills, expanding their knowledge, and becoming better versions of themselves. Ultimately, a shift in mindset is the foundation of all success. It is the catalyst that propels you toward greatness. When you change the way you think, you change the way you act. And when you change the way you act, your life will begin to reflect the abundance you once thought was out of reach. The journey of transformation begins in your mind. If you can change your thoughts, you can change your life. Poverty in many ways is a mindset that is shaped by the focus on what is missing rather than what is available. People trapped in poverty often live in a constant state of wanting more money, more opportunities, more success, but they are so fixated on what they do not have that they overlook the vast potential of what is within their reach. They see only the obstacles, the challenges, the limitations that exist between them and their goals. The poor have a way of perceiving the world that magnifies the difficulties they face while minimizing the possibilities that lie ahead. This mindset of lack becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, creating a cycle where they continually focus on what they don't have, which only reinforces their position and keeps them from moving forward. The mindset of lack is not just a belief, but a pattern of thinking that becomes ingrained in one's life. It is easy to be consumed by what is missing when you are surrounded by reminders of scarcity, whether it be in your environment, your relationships, or your financial status. It can feel like you are always one step behind, struggling just to keep up. And in this constant struggle, the mind starts to believe that there is never enough. The more you focus on what you don't have, the less you will see the opportunities to get what you need. It is like trying to drive a car while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. You are not paying attention to what is ahead of you and are instead trapped in a mindset of what's behind or unavailable. This focus on lack leads to a vicious cycle. When you focus on the absence of something, be it money, opportunity, or success, it tends to create feelings of helplessness, frustration, and discouragement. You begin to feel as though the world is against you and that the opportunities you desire are reserved for others, not for you. These feelings of inadequacy only further reinforce the mindset of lack, and you find yourself stuck in a place where your actions mirror your thoughts. The poor often become passive, waiting for change to come to them instead of actively creating the change they want to see. They see themselves as victims of their circumstances, not as architects of their destiny. However, the shift that needs to take place is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about changing your perspective on what you focus on. Instead of focusing on the absence of something, whether it's money, opportunities, or resources, shift your focus to what is already available to you. Understand that your resources might not look the way you expected, but there's always something you can use to create the life you desire. You must begin to see opportunities in the challenges, solutions in the problems, and potential in the limitations. This doesn't mean that your situation will change overnight, nor does it imply that the path will be easy. It means that you begin to approach the obstacles in your life with a mindset of resourcefulness rather than limitation. The wealthy don't ignore challenges, but they view them as temporary obstacles to be solved. They don't see problems as roadblocks, but as stepping stones to greater achievements. They understand that opportunities are not just handed to them, they are created by their ability to think creatively, act strategically, and leverage the resources at their disposal. In order to make this shift, you must train yourself to focus on what is available to you rather than what is missing. This requires a change in the way you view your environment, your skills, and your circumstances. Instead of seeing yourself as limited by your surroundings, look for the small opportunities that might be hidden in plain sight. If you are currently in a financial struggle, start by identifying the skills or knowledge you already possess and how you can leverage them to create income or value. Instead of focusing on the fact that you don't have enough money to invest in a business, ask yourself, what can I do with what I already have? This shift in thinking requires you to take stock of your resources and become resourceful in the face of scarcity. Another key element in breaking free from the focus on lack is the practice of gratitude. When you focus on scarcity, you tend to overlook the abundance that exists in your life. Even in the most challenging situations, there is always something to be grateful for. It might be your health, your family, your skills, your network, or even the lessons learned from past failures. By training your mind to focus on gratitude, you shift your attention away from what is missing and toward what is present and plentiful. Gratitude has the power to transform your perspective and expand your view of the world. It reminds you that even when things seem scarce, you have a wealth of resources and potential within you. The wealthy understand the power of focusing on abundance. They don't focus on what is missing, they focus on the possibilities that exist. They know that the more they focus on abundance, whether it's knowledge, connections, or opportunities, the more they attract those very things into their lives. This doesn't happen because they are simply optimistic or naive, but because they are actively training their minds to see the potential in every situation. They understand that abundance is a mindset, a way of thinking that you cultivate through awareness, gratitude, and intentional focus. The moment you begin to shift your focus away from lack and toward abundance, your perception of the world will begin to change. You will start to see opportunities where you once saw barriers. You will begin to recognize solutions to problems you once thought unsolvable. The wealth of resources that you previously overlooked will suddenly become apparent, and you will find yourself taking actions that align with the abundance mindset. The simple act of shifting your focus from what you don't have to what you do have can begin the transformation of your life. This is the key to unlocking the doors of opportunity, success, and wealth. The power of this shift cannot be underestimated. By focusing on abundance instead of scarcity, you are programming your mind for success. You are teaching yourself to see beyond the limitations that you once believed were permanent. And as you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, you will find that you are not as limited as you once thought. The world is full of abundance. And the moment you align your mindset with this truth, you will begin to step into your full potential and create the success you desire. Success, true success, begins with vision. A vision is not merely a fleeting thought or a vague dream of what you want to achieve in life. It is the guiding force that determines your direction, your purpose, and ultimately your destiny. Without vision, people drift aimlessly through life, reacting to circumstances instead of creating their own future. The lack of a clear vision leaves one vulnerable to the tides of life, pushing them toward decisions that reflect short-term desires rather than long-term goals. If you want to move beyond the life of struggle and scarcity, you must first develop a clear and compelling vision of where you want to go and who you want to become. People often wonder why some individuals seem to rise above their circumstances, breaking free from the traps of poverty and mediocrity, while others remain stuck. The answer is not luck, nor is it a matter of circumstance. It is vision. Vision is the ability to see beyond the present moment, to look beyond the immediate challenges and setbacks, and to focus on the bigger picture. People who succeed are not simply reacting to life, they are actively creating their future by aligning their actions with a clear vision of success. They know exactly where they want to go, and they understand that the path to getting there may be difficult, but the vision will keep them motivated and focused no matter the obstacles they face along the way. The absence of vision can keep you trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction and frustration. Without a vision, you are left to operate solely on immediate needs and circumstances. You may focus on surviving rather than thriving, getting by rather than moving forward. The poor, in particular, often live in survival mode, responding to each day's challenges without thinking about their future. They are preoccupied with paying the bills, making ends meet, and dealing with the short-term problems that demand their attention. While these are valid concerns, they can easily become all-consuming. When you are caught up in day-to-day survival, there is little room to think about long-term goals, personal growth, or financial independence. Without a vision, you remain stuck in the same place, feeling like there is no way out because you have no clear destination in mind. Creating a vision requires introspection and clarity. It demands that you take the time to ask yourself, what do I truly want in life? What is my purpose? What kind of person do I want to become? These are not easy questions to answer, but they are necessary if you want to break free from the limitations that have held you back. A vision isn't just about material success or financial goals. It is about understanding your deeper purpose, your passions, and your true potential. It is about knowing what you want to contribute to the world and how you can make a difference. The vision you create should resonate with your heart and soul. It should excite you, inspire you, and drive you to take consistent action toward achieving it. Once you have a clear vision, it becomes the foundation for all your actions. It becomes the lens through which you view opportunities and challenges. Every decision you make, every action you take should be measured against your vision. When faced with a choice, ask yourself, does this align with the person I want to become? Does this move me closer to my vision? When you have a clear vision, it becomes easier to make decisions because you are no longer swayed by distractions or temptations that do not serve your greater purpose. A strong vision acts as a filter, helping you prioritize your time, energy, and resources on the things that matter most. For instance, if your vision involves financial independence, you will find it easier to make decisions that lead you in that direction. You will prioritize saving, investing, and seeking opportunities for income generation over unnecessary spending. If your vision involves personal development, you will seek out opportunities for learning, growth, and self-improvement. People with vision are able to see the connection between their daily actions and their long-term goals. They understand that success doesn't happen overnight, but it is the result of consistent, intentional action over time. A person without a vision may spend years chasing fleeting pleasures and superficial goals, only to realize that they have nothing of lasting value to show for their efforts. Having a vision also helps you to overcome setbacks and obstacles. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned. But when you have a clear vision of your future, you are better equipped to persevere in the face of adversity. Your vision becomes a source of motivation during tough times. It reminds you that the challenges you face today are just stepping stones on your journey towards something greater. People with vision do not see failure as an end point, but as a necessary part of the process. They understand that every setback is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow. With a vision in mind, you are more likely to keep moving forward no matter how difficult the journey becomes. A powerful vision is also a source of inspiration and influence for those around you. When you are clear about your vision and passionate about pursuing it, others will be drawn to your energy, focus, and determination. Visionary individuals often inspire others to dream big and to believe that they too can achieve greatness. Your vision becomes a beacon, not only lighting your own path, but also the path for others who are struggling to find their way. As you pursue your vision, you become an example of what is possible when you have clarity, purpose, and dedication. It is important to note that your vision is not fixed. It is not something that once created cannot be changed. As you grow and evolve, your vision may change as well. However, at every stage of life, having a vision provides direction and a sense of purpose. Whether your vision evolves over time or remains consistent, the key is that you have one. Without vision, you are like a ship adrift in the ocean at the mercy of the currents and winds. But with a vision, you have a clear destination and a compass to guide you. A strong vision does not just tell you where you are going, it also provides the motivation and clarity needed to get there. It fuels your ambition, strengthens your resolve, and pushes you through the challenges that life will inevitably present. When you know where you want to go and why you want to go there, nothing can stop you from getting there. When you start to understand the power of personal responsibility, you begin to realize that your circumstances are a result of the choices you have made or failed to make in the past. Taking responsibility for your life is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in order to break free from poverty and mediocrity. It means acknowledging that no one else is responsible for your success or failure but you. While it is easy to blame your environment, your upbringing, or external forces for the situation you're in, the moment you accept personal responsibility is the moment you take back control of your life. This shift in mindset is what distinguishes those who rise above their circumstances from those who remain stuck in them. Many people who live in poverty or struggle with life's challenges often fall into the trap of playing the victim. They blame their circumstances, their past, or other people for where they are in life. It's easier to point the finger at the government, the economy, your family, or your job than it is to look within and examine the role you play in your own story. The mindset of victimhood keeps people locked in a perpetual state of helplessness. When you see yourself as a victim, you give away your power. You relinquish the ability to change your life because in your mind, you are not the one in control. You are simply a passenger reacting to forces beyond your control. This way of thinking keeps you stuck. It keeps you trapped in a cycle where you are not in control of your life's direction. If you believe that the world is against you, that your circumstances are holding you back, and that success is something that happens to other people but not to you, then that is exactly what will happen. You will remain stuck. You will make decisions based on fear and insecurity, decisions that reinforce your belief that the world is unfair and that success is out of reach. But this is a dangerous mindset. The moment you accept that your life is the result of your choices is the moment that everything changes. Personal responsibility means taking ownership of both your successes and your failures. It means acknowledging that the life you are living right now is the result of the choices you made in the past, whether those choices were conscious or unconscious. If you are not where you want to be, it is because of decisions you have made. You might not have chosen your circumstances, but you have the power to choose your response to them. Your response determines your trajectory. By taking responsibility for your choices, you can begin to change the course of your life. It is no longer about blaming the past, blaming others, or waiting for someone else to give you permission to succeed. The responsibility for your life is yours and yours alone. When you embrace personal responsibility, you become empowered. You no longer wait for the world to change for you. You change the world around you. You begin to take action. You begin to make decisions that align with the life you want to create. This is where the shift from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance takes place. People who are successful take responsibility for their actions and outcomes. They understand that nothing in life happens by accident. Success is not the result of good luck or external forces. It is the result of deliberate, intentional action. People who are successful do not wait for the perfect circumstances to come into play before they act. They take responsibility for creating their own opportunities. They don't make excuses, they make progress. Taking personal responsibility also means recognizing that you are the only one who can change your circumstances. While you may not have control over everything in your life, you have control over how you respond to the situations you face. For example, if you are facing financial difficulties, you might not be able to control the economy, but you can control your spending habits, your willingness to learn new skills, or your ability to seek out new opportunities. You might not be able to control the job market, but you can control your attitude, your work ethic, and your level of commitment to improvement. This idea extends beyond finances. Taking personal responsibility means recognizing that your relationships, your health, your career, and your overall well-being are a reflection of the choices you make. You cannot blame your partner, your boss, or your circumstances for where you are. Instead, ask yourself, what part did I play in this? How did my actions or inactions contribute to this outcome? This self-reflection is critical for growth. When you hold yourself accountable for your own life, you will begin to see patterns in your decisions that can either help you succeed or hold you back. The more honest you are with yourself, the clearer it becomes that the power to change your situation is always in your hands. This understanding gives you the freedom to take charge of your future. You are no longer a victim of your past or your environment. You are the creator of your future. People who take personal responsibility understand that they are not bound by their past mistakes. They understand that every day is a new opportunity to start fresh, to make better choices, and to take different actions. They don't get discouraged by setbacks because they know that setbacks are not failures, they are simply feedback. Failure is not an endpoint, it is part of the process of growth. The successful person who takes personal responsibility uses every mistake as a lesson, every challenge as an opportunity to improve. They see obstacles as chances to grow stronger and smarter. They know that success is not linear, it is a series of ups and downs, but the key is to keep moving forward no matter how hard it gets. Personal responsibility also breeds discipline. When you understand that your success is in your hands, you develop the self-discipline necessary to make consistent, focused effort toward your goals. You do not rely on motivation alone, you rely on your ability to take action even when motivation fades. Successful people who take personal responsibility create routines, set goals, and follow through. They develop habits that align with their vision of success, and they stay committed to their growth even when things get difficult. This mindset shift also means eliminating excuses. It is easy to find reasons why things aren't working or why you can't achieve your goals, but successful individuals do not make excuses. They take action regardless of the circumstances. They do not wait for everything to be perfect. They begin where they are with what they have. If something is not working, they find another way. They learn, adapt, and keep pushing forward. The power of personal responsibility lies in its ability to free you from the chains of your past and present circumstances. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop being a passive observer and become an active participant in your own success story. You realize that the only thing standing between where you are now and where you want to be is the decisions you make today. The more you embrace personal responsibility, the more you realize that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by your actions, your mindset, and your commitment to your vision. Living with a purpose is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your life, and it is essential for breaking free from a cycle of mediocrity and poverty. When you live without purpose, you drift through life, reacting to circumstances and responding to situations without a clear sense of direction. Your actions are often driven by external factors, what other people expect of you, the pressures of your environment, or the demands of daily survival. However, when you live with purpose, you take control of your life. Your actions are no longer random or dictated by circumstances. They are intentional and aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. Purpose gives you clarity. When you know your purpose, you know exactly what you are working towards. You have a clear sense of what matters most to you, and you can make decisions that move you closer to that vision. Without purpose, your energy is scattered and you are often pulled in different directions, chasing fleeting desires or responding to external demands. But with purpose, you have a compass that guides you. It acts as an anchor in the midst of life's challenges, keeping you focused on your goals even when difficulties arise. People who live with purpose are more likely to be disciplined and committed to their journey because they understand why they are doing what they are doing. Purpose also brings a sense of fulfillment that cannot be found through material gain alone. Many people mistakenly believe that achieving wealth or status will bring them lasting happiness. While financial success can provide comfort, it does not provide lasting satisfaction unless it is aligned with a deeper sense of purpose. When you live with purpose, success takes on a different meaning. It is no longer about external achievements or accumulating possessions, but about making a meaningful contribution to the world, fulfilling your potential, and living in alignment with your values. People who live with purpose are more likely to experience a sense of contentment because they feel that their actions are meaningful and have a positive impact. Living with purpose also requires self-awareness. You must take the time to reflect on who you are, what you value, and what you want to achieve. Purpose is not something that is handed to you or discovered by chance. It is something that you define for yourself. It requires introspection, self-discovery, and a willingness to confront your own fears and desires. By understanding yourself at a deeper level, you can make choices that reflect your true passions and ambitions rather than merely reacting to external pressures. Purpose is rooted in your unique strengths, talents, and aspirations, and when you align your actions with these, you begin to tap into a deeper well of motivation and energy. When you are driven by purpose, challenges become opportunities rather than obstacles. Life is full of difficulties, and there will always be setbacks and hardships. However, when you have a clear purpose, these challenges take on a new meaning. Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, you view them as part of your journey toward fulfillment. A person with purpose is resilient. They do not give up easily because they understand that obstacles are a natural part of the path to success. They see every difficulty as a lesson, an opportunity for growth, and a stepping stone on the way to their larger vision. Purpose also keeps you focused on what is truly important, helping you to avoid distractions. In a world that is constantly pulling us in different directions, it is easy to lose sight of what matters. But when you live with purpose, you make choices that reflect your long-term goals rather than short-term desires. You become more intentional with your time, energy, and resources. People without purpose are often caught up in the whirlwind of day-to-day life, reacting to the demands of others or pursuing superficial goals that provide little long-term satisfaction. Those who live with purpose, however, prioritize what truly matters to them, making decisions based on their core values and the life they want to create. Purpose also provides a sense of direction and helps you to make progress even when the road ahead seems unclear. It eliminates the paralysis of indecision. When you know your purpose, you no longer waste time wondering what to do next. You take action confident that each step you take is moving you closer to the life you desire. Purpose removes the ambiguity that comes with living aimlessly, offering you clarity and confidence. People with purpose understand that life is not always predictable, but their purpose serves as a constant guide, helping them navigate through uncertainty and stay on course. In the pursuit of your purpose, you will also find that you attract people, opportunities, and resources that align with your vision. When you are clear about your purpose, the world seems to open up to you. The energy and determination that you exude when you are living in alignment with your purpose is magnetic, drawing others who share your values or who can help you on your journey. Opportunities that you may have once overlooked now become visible because you are focused and intentional. Your purpose acts as a beacon, guiding you toward the right people, situations, and experiences that will propel you forward. Living with purpose also fosters a sense of accountability. When you have a clear purpose, you hold yourself accountable to the vision you have for your life. You set goals, make plans, and take deliberate actions to move toward those goals. It's easy to procrastinate or make excuses when you lack purpose, but with a clear direction, you understand that your success depends on the choices you make each day. Your purpose keeps you committed to your growth, even when the journey gets tough. It keeps you accountable not just to the world around you, but to yourself, ensuring that you are consistently working toward the life you know you are capable of creating. Ultimately, living with purpose is about more than just achieving success or acquiring wealth. It's about living a life that is authentic, meaningful, and aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. Purpose gives you the courage to pursue what truly matters, to stay focused on your goals, and to continue pressing forward no matter the challenges. When you live with purpose, you begin to live life on your own terms, creating a future that reflects your unique potential and vision. Purpose is the fuel that propels you toward your dreams, and it is the foundation on which a fulfilled and successful life is built. If you want to change your life, you must first learn to change your mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality. What you believe about yourself, about life, and about your potential will determine your actions and ultimately the outcomes you experience. A mindset rooted in a lack of belief in oneself, in negativity, or in the idea that success is reserved for others will keep you stuck. On the other hand, a mindset of growth, possibility, and self-belief will empower you to take bold actions, overcome obstacles, and break free from the chains that bind you to mediocrity. The way you think is the starting point of everything. A key element in shifting your mindset is understanding the power of your beliefs. Beliefs are not facts, they are interpretations of reality based on past experiences, cultural influences, and the stories you've told yourself over the years. If you believe that success is for the privileged few, that money is hard to come by, or that you are not capable of achieving greatness, you will subconsciously limit yourself. Your actions will reflect these beliefs, and you will find yourself stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and self-sabotage. However, if you change the way you view yourself and your potential, everything begins to change. You must start to believe that success is not a matter of luck, but a result of discipline, hard work, and perseverance. One of the most powerful shifts in mindset is to embrace the idea that failure is not something to be feared or avoided. Most people associate failure with defeat. They fear failure so much that they avoid taking risks, avoid trying new things, or avoid stepping out of their comfort zone. However, failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of the process. Those who succeed are not those who never fail, but those who fail and get up again. They understand that failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to refine their approach. A person with a growth mindset sees failure as feedback, not as a reflection of their worth or abilities. They understand that each failure brings them closer to success because it teaches them valuable lessons that can be applied in the future. This shift in mindset enables them to keep going no matter how many times they fail. Another key to changing your mindset is to stop viewing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities. People who struggle often view life's difficulties as something to avoid or escape. They see problems as reasons to give up or as signs that success is not meant for them. But those who succeed understand that challenges are a necessary part of the journey. They view obstacles as tests of their resolve, as opportunities to build resilience, and as chances to refine their skills. By seeing problems in a positive light, they develop the mental fortitude to keep pushing forward. The obstacles you face today are not there to defeat you, they are there to prepare you for something greater. When you change the way you view challenges, they no longer have the power to discourage you, they become stepping stones to your success. Along with overcoming the fear of failure, changing your mindset means developing a sense of self-belief and confidence. Many people live their lives underestimating their own potential. They listen to the voice of doubt and insecurity that tells them they are not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable of achieving their goals. But self-doubt is a barrier to success. It keeps you from taking action, from pursuing your dreams, and from stepping into your full potential. To change your mindset, you must learn to trust yourself and your abilities. You must silence the inner critic that tells you that you are not worthy of success and replace it with a belief in your capacity to grow, learn, and achieve anything you set your mind to. Confidence comes from within, and when you start to believe in yourself, you begin to act differently. You take risks, you challenge yourself, and you do the things that are required to reach your goals. A mindset of abundance is also crucial for changing your life. Many people live with a scarcity mentality, believing that there is not enough to go around, that success is limited, and that others must fail for you to win. This mindset keeps people in competition with each other, always struggling to get ahead, believing that resources are finite. But a mindset of abundance shifts the focus from scarcity to possibility. It recognizes that there is more than enough success, opportunity, and wealth to go around. People who live with an abundance mindset are generous, collaborative, and willing to share their knowledge and resources with others. They understand that by helping others succeed, they too will succeed. An abundant mindset opens up new possibilities and allows you to see opportunities where others see limitations. One of the most important aspects of changing your mindset is learning to take responsibility for your life and your circumstances. The world is full of people who blame their problems on others, on their upbringing, on their boss, on the economy, or on a lack of opportunities. While it's true that external factors can influence your life, it's also true that you have the power to respond to those factors. The moment you stop blaming others and start taking responsibility for your own actions, thoughts, and decisions is the moment that you regain control over your life. Responsibility is empowering. It means recognizing that no matter what happens in your life, you have the ability to choose how you respond. You can take ownership of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, and by doing so, you can change the course of your life. Finally, changing your mindset requires surrounding yourself with the right people and influences. The people you spend time with play a significant role in shaping your thoughts and behaviors. If you are constantly surrounded by negative, cynical, or small-minded people, it will be difficult to break free from limiting beliefs and adopt a mindset of growth and possibility. However, if you surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, inspire you, and believe in your potential, your mindset will naturally shift toward greatness. Seek out mentors, coaches, and peers who support your growth, who push you to think bigger, and who encourage you to believe in your ability to succeed. Changing your mindset is not an overnight process. It takes time, effort, and consistency. However, when you begin to shift the way you think about yourself, your potential, and the world around you, you open the door to limitless possibilities. Your mindset shapes your reality, and by changing your mindset, you can change your life. Your environment has a profound influence on the person you become and the success you achieve. The people, places, and situations you are surrounded by can either empower you or hold you back. If you want to elevate your life and move away from poverty, mediocrity, and negative influences, you must intentionally shape your environment to support your growth. This means assessing the relationships, the spaces, and the circumstances that currently surround you and deciding whether they are helping or hindering your progress. A change in environment often leads to a change in mindset, behavior, and ultimately results. One of the most significant aspects of your environment is the people you associate with. The saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," holds profound truth. The people around you influence your mindset, your ambitions, your work ethic, and even the way you see yourself. If you spend time with individuals who have a negative outlook on life, who complain about their circumstances, or who are comfortable with mediocrity, you are likely to adopt a similar mindset. You might find yourself making excuses, focusing on problems rather than solutions, and resigning to a life of dissatisfaction. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with individuals who are ambitious, motivated, and striving for success, their energy will lift you. Their mindset, their habits, and their attitudes will inspire you to take action, overcome challenges, and pursue your own growth. It's important to evaluate the people in your life and ask yourself if they are supporting your goals and pushing you to be better. Are they offering constructive feedback, encouragement, and motivation? Or are they contributing to your doubts, fears, and insecurities? If you find that your current relationships are not adding value to your life, it might be time to distance yourself from those who are holding you back. This is not about being harsh or unkind, but about recognizing that the quality of your environment will determine the quality of your life. Sometimes changing your environment means creating space for new relationships that are more in alignment with your vision for success. Your physical environment also plays a significant role in shaping your mindset and productivity. The spaces where you spend most of your time, whether it's your home, your office, or your community, affect how you think and how you act. A cluttered, disorganized space can create mental chaos. It can contribute to feelings of overwhelm and frustration, making it harder for you to focus or stay motivated. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and inspiring space can foster clarity, creativity, and productivity. If you want to change your life, start by evaluating the spaces around you. Are they conducive to success and growth? Are they aligned with the kind of person you are trying to become? A well-organized environment, whether in your home or workplace, helps to create an atmosphere of discipline and focus. It sends a message to your subconscious that you are serious about your goals and committed to making progress. Simple changes such as decluttering your space, adding elements that inspire you like vision boards or motivational quotes, and setting up designated areas for work and relaxation can have a profound impact on your productivity and mindset. When your environment is ordered and intentional, it becomes easier to focus on the tasks that matter and to eliminate distractions. It also helps to eliminate feelings of overwhelm, giving you the mental clarity needed to make effective decisions. The places you frequent also influence your ability to grow and succeed. If you spend most of your time in environments that are not in alignment with your goals, you may find it difficult to break free from your current situation. For example, if you spend time in places where negativity, gossip, or destructive behaviors are commonplace, you are likely to absorb these attitudes and carry them into your own life. Conversely, spending time in places that foster positivity, growth, and learning, such as libraries, coffee shops where professionals gather, or networking events with like-minded individuals, will expose you to new ideas and opportunities that can propel you toward your goals. Another aspect of your environment that requires attention is the digital environment you create. In today's age, the internet, social media, and digital spaces influence our mindset in powerful ways. The information you consume, the content you follow, and the digital interactions you engage in all contribute to your state of mind. If your social media feed is filled with negativity, comparison, or irrelevant content, it can drain your energy and focus. On the other hand, following people, pages, and groups that inspire you, teach you, and challenge you to grow can significantly impact your mindset. Be intentional about the digital environment you create. Follow individuals who motivate you, engage with content that nurtures your growth, and limit exposure to media that drains your energy or adds to your stress. In addition to the people, places, and digital spaces you engage with, your immediate community also plays a role in shaping your life. The culture and opportunities in your local environment can either limit your potential or expand it. For instance, if you live in an area where opportunities for personal and professional growth are scarce, you may need to look beyond your immediate surroundings for inspirational opportunities. This might involve seeking mentors, finding networks outside your locality, or even relocating if necessary. Sometimes a change in physical location is required to access new opportunities, new ideas, and new resources that can accelerate your personal growth. Shaping your environment for success also means taking control of the external factors that impact your mindset. It means creating a space where you can thrive not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. This includes protecting your time, energy, and emotional well-being from people and situations that drain you. Set boundaries that support your goals and limit exposure to negativity, distractions, or toxic environments. By consciously curating the spaces and relationships you engage with, you lay the groundwork for a life that is rich with opportunity, positivity, and growth. Remember, your environment is not just something that happens to you, it is something that you have the power to shape. If you want to change your life, change the environment in which you live. Align it with your goals, values, and vision for the future. By doing so, you will create the conditions for success, and you will find that the journey to a better life becomes much more achievable. Success is a product of consistent effort. And one of the most powerful ways to ensure you achieve your goals is through the establishment of disciplined habits. A habit is something you do automatically without thinking. And it is through the formation of good habits that successful people consistently rise above their circumstances. In contrast, the lack of discipline or the reliance on bad habits can lead to failure or a life of mediocrity. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and without it, your dreams will remain unfulfilled. The first step in creating disciplined habits is understanding the power of consistency. Many people start off strong with their goals, motivated by a sudden burst of inspiration or desire, but without discipline, that initial energy fades. Consistency is the key to long-term success. It's not about how hard you work in the short term, but how consistently you show up every day. Small incremental actions taken over time compound and lead to significant results. You don't need to do everything perfectly from the start, but you do need to commit to making progress every single day, no matter how small the step. Discipline ensures that you continue even when motivation wanes or when challenges arise. Over time, these daily actions accumulate, leading to mastery and the achievement of your goals. Discipline also plays a vital role in creating routines that support your success. Successful people don't leave their success to chance. They design their days with purpose and intentionality. A routine is the backbone of productivity. It eliminates the mental energy required to make decisions about what to do next, and instead creates a structure that directs your energy toward what matters most. When you develop routines around your most important tasks, you create an environment where success is inevitable. Morning routines are especially powerful because they set the tone for the day. Whether it's exercising, reading, planning, or meditating, how you start your day influences how the rest of it unfolds. The habit of waking up early, for example, can provide you with quiet time to focus on your personal development before the demands of the world begin to pull at you. Creating disciplined habits involves making intentional choices that align with your goals rather than reacting to the distractions and urgencies of daily life. When you focus on building habits that align with your bigger vision, you are more likely to stay on track and avoid being swayed by temporary distractions. For instance, if financial independence is your goal, developing the habit of saving and investing a portion of your income every month becomes crucial. If physical health is your goal, creating a habit of regular exercise and healthy eating will drive results. The key is consistency. Each small decision you make that aligns with your vision contributes to the bigger picture of your success. One of the main reasons people fail to establish disciplined habits is that they try to change too much at once. It's tempting to want to overhaul every aspect of your life in a short period, but this often leads to burnout and discouragement. Instead, focus on one habit at a time and build it into your routine before adding new ones. Start with small, manageable actions and gradually increase the intensity or frequency as the habit becomes ingrained in your daily life. Whether it's waking up earlier, reading for 30 minutes every day, or setting aside time to work on a specific project, small, consistent actions are what make the difference. The more you reinforce a habit, the easier it becomes to maintain. Accountability is another key factor in developing disciplined habits. When you have someone or something to hold you accountable, it strengthens your commitment to your goals. This could be a mentor, a coach, or even a friend who checks in on your progress. Some people even find that using apps or tools to track their habits helps them stay on course. Accountability serves as a reminder of your commitment to yourself and your goals, pushing you to continue even when motivation wanes or when obstacles arise. It adds an external layer of support that strengthens your inner discipline. It's also important to remember that discipline is not about perfection, it's about progress. There will be times when you slip up or fall short of your expectations, and that's okay. Perfectionism can actually be a barrier to success because it discourages you from continuing when things aren't going exactly as planned. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, view them as learning opportunities. Adjust, adapt, and keep going. Consistency and persistence, even in the face of setbacks, are the hallmarks of disciplined individuals. Success is often not about avoiding failure, but about developing the perseverance to keep moving forward despite it. Another vital component of discipline is the ability to delay gratification. In a world full of instant rewards and distractions, the ability to delay gratification can be a defining factor in success. People who practice delayed gratification understand that the rewards of success, whether financial, personal, or professional, are often delayed and require sustained effort over time. Rather than giving in to the immediate temptation of comfort or indulgence, they remain focused on the long-term goals that will bring them greater fulfillment. This is the essence of self-discipline, choosing what you want most over what you want now. As you develop disciplined habits, it's also important to create a support system that encourages your progress. Being surrounded by like-minded individuals who value discipline, growth, and achievement can propel you toward your goals. Find communities that encourage the kind of discipline you want to cultivate in your life, whether it's a group of people focused on fitness, entrepreneurship, or personal development. These communities can offer support, guidance, and a sense of camaraderie that makes it easier to stay committed to your own growth. Lastly, remember that discipline is a skill that can be cultivated. While some may appear naturally disciplined, most people who are successful have developed their habits over time. It is not an inherent trait, but a series of intentional actions repeated consistently over time. Whether you're building new habits or strengthening existing ones, the key to success is consistent effort. The more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes and the greater the results you will see. When you commit to developing disciplined habits, you begin to shape the future you desire. Small, consistent actions guided by a clear sense of purpose and accountability will lead to lasting success. Over time, discipline will no longer feel like a struggle. It will become second nature, propelling you toward the life you've always dreamed of. In conclusion, if you want to break free from the patterns that keep you in a state of lack, mediocrity, or failure, it all starts with changing your mindset and actions. You must stop doing what poor and unsuccessful people do and take deliberate steps toward transforming your thoughts, your habits, and the environment you surround yourself with. It begins with understanding the power of your mindset, embracing growth, overcoming self-doubt, and seeing failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. From there, you must prioritize self-discipline, consistently take intentional action, and commit to the routines that align with your higher purpose. By shifting your perspective, developing a growth-oriented mindset, and surrounding yourself with the right influences, you set the foundation for a life of success and fulfillment. Understand that success is not an accident or a matter of luck. It is the result of intentional choices, consistent effort, and a refusal to accept mediocrity. As you grow in your ability to change your environment and habits, you will begin to see the possibilities that have always been within your reach. Remember, change is not easy, but it is worth it. You are capable of far more than you can imagine, and when you begin to align your thoughts, actions, and discipline with your vision for the future, success will no longer be a distant dream. It will become your reality. Now is the time to rise, to stop doing what the poor and unsuccessful do, and to start walking in the path of greatness. The power to change is in your hands, and it starts with the choices you make today.